What we see here in this image is that there is a bracket. This is the slot for the wire, okay, and we see that the slot has been covered, okay. So we know that this is a type of a self-ligating bracket. Now this is a very direct question where they're asking us to identify what type of self-ligating bracket this is. Another type of question they could ask you is on the basis of the image, they could ask you the brand name of the bracket system, such as Speed or Damon. Okay, so let us first have a look at what the different types of self-ligating brackets are, and then we'll come back to answer this question. So there are three types of self-ligating brackets: active, passive, and interactive. Active brackets are those brackets where the spring mechanism that is present in order to ligate the wire, that is going to encroach into the slot space of the wire. So here if you can see, this is the spring mechanism, this is the slot of the wire, okay, and this spring is going to go and fit into this space, okay. So this, as you can see, this is the space for the slot. Now this spring, when it is going to go here, it is encroaching into the space for the arch wire, okay. So what this does is it holds the arch wire very securely against the bracket slot. It does not allow the arch wire to move freely, so there is no free movement of the arch wire here. So if you see in this image here, the arch wire is held securely because of the spring which is engaging onto it, it's exerting force onto it, and the arch wire is held securely against the slot. Now these are actually helpful in those situations where you want to express the wire completely. Okay, so in those cases, in situations where you want to express the torque of a wire completely, active brackets are useful in those situations. Now the examples of active brackets are innovation brackets, speed, Forrester-10 brackets. So this is what they look like. These are all active brackets. Okay, so here you can characteristically see that there is a spring mechanism which is going and encroaching into the space of the wire slot. Okay, these are all active brackets. They can be innovation, speed, Forrester-10 brackets. Okay, these are not very commonly used. The second type of brackets are passive brackets. Now passive brackets have a sliding mechanism, okay, which goes and closes over the slot, okay, and kind of converts the bracket into a tube, because it provides a fourth wall for the slot. So here you can see it becomes like a tube. The wire is allowed to move freely within the slot. The slot or the sliding mechanism does not encroach upon the wire slot space. So the wire is able to move freely within the bracket. Now this is helpful because it causes less friction between the bracket and the wire. So it is helpful in those situations. Now the types of passive brackets are Damon brackets, smart clip brackets, and vision brackets. So this is what they look like. These are passive self-ligating brackets. Okay. So this is what Damon and vision brackets look like. They have this slide mechanism which closes over the slot. Another type of passive self-ligating bracket which looks like a normal bracket is a smart clip, which was given by 3M Unitech. So if you see here, the slot is not covered, okay, but what you should appreciate are these spring mechanisms which are present on both sides of the bracket. So here you see the spring mechanism is present. So all you have to do here is push the wire through the spring mechanism, and then it is going to be held here. Okay, now don't get confused because there is a spring mechanism that this is an active bracket. It is not. It is still a passive bracket. This is because the spring mechanism is, again, like you can see, it's not encroaching onto the space of the arch wire slot. Okay, it is away from the arch wire, so it's not putting any pressure, or it is not encroaching, or it's not pushing it against the slot. So even though this is a spring mechanism, it is still a passive type of self-ligating bracket. Okay, so this is very important. They could ask you this also to confuse you. A third type of bracket system is known as the interactive brackets. Now interactive brackets are between active and passive, because here if you see in the initial stages, that is when the dimensions of the arch wire is small, the spring is not encroaching onto the arch wire. Okay, however, as the dimension of the wire increases, the spring starts encroaching, or it starts exerting a force onto the arch wire and pushing it against it. So these are known as interactive brackets. Okay, so this has the advantage of both passive brackets where there is less friction initially and the wire is able to move freely, and active brackets where you can express torque easily in the final stages. Now if we come back to the question here, if you see what kind of a bracket this is, so this has a slide mechanism. There is no encroachment of the mechanism onto the slot of the arch wire. So this is a type of passive self-ligating bracket.